Hello there, this is Icy Tooney here with another TF2 gameplay video. In this video I'm going to be playing as the Heavy here on King of the Hill Nucleus, and I'm going to be using the Heavy's Hibernating Bear set, which you got during the Australian Christmas update, and that consists of the Brass Beast, which you are seeing right now, the Buffalo Steak Sandwich is my secondary weapon, and the Warrior's Spirit as my melee weapon. So the Brass Beast is this minigun you see right now, and I guess I'll talk about its stats first, if anything. It does 20% more damage than any minigun, so it is an absolute beast if you are able to focus on a single target, or even multiple targets, I guess. But it's an absolute beast from mid-range, and especially short range. Obviously, you're going to be killing someone in like a half a second, like that engineer right there. The downsides to it, because it does so much damage, Valve kind of made it pretty tough to be successful with this weapon. I'm not saying it's not possible, but Valve made it so you move 50% slower when it's revved up, or I think it might be 60%, and also it takes 50% longer to rev up itself. So you kind of have to pick your spots when you want to attack the enemy, and it's a lot more risky as a weapon than, let's say, the regular minigun or even the Nerf Natasha. So yeah, that's the primary weapon there. The secondary weapon, which good timing, you're going to be seeing right now, is the Buffalo Steak Sandwich. First, I'll say if you do drop the Buffalo Steak Sandwich with the right mouse click button, then it's going to be acting like a regular sandwich, and you will be able to pick up health that way. But its primary effect here is what you are seeing right now. When you do eat it, you're going to be doing mini crits on anyone. I think you yourself will take mini crits as well. And you will also only be able to take out your melee weapon. So basically it's like a melee fight, and it's a lot of fun to use, I will give it that. It might not be the Heavy's best secondary weapon, because the Heavy is able to do damage at close range without the melee weapon, of course. But it's still fun if you see that the enemies are ever really separated and you don't think you can get there with your own minigun. That might be a good opportunity to eat the sandwich, but it's probably not best to jump into a group of enemies and try to melee them. But like you saw when I first used it, you kind of just want to pick off any of the guys that are straying away from the team. So that's my secondary weapon. My melee weapon, I guess, is just the Warrior's Spirit. Nothing too crazy about its effects, it just does a little bit more damage. I think it is, like 20% more damage, so it's going to do about 85 damage point blank, and with those mini crits, which you're probably going to be using it the most with, it'll do about 112 damage, so enough to two-shot any class in the game other than the Heavy. But if you're going up trying to melee a Heavy, I guess you have a problem of your own. So yeah, those are the three weapons. This whole set has kind of gone under some scrutiny. It is pretty tough to do the old Heavy things and try to be successful, where you go around the map, jump around, try to sneak up on people, all that stuff. This set just makes it a lot harder. What I find, if you are wanting to use like the Brass Beast, it's probably better in defensive situations. So if you're playing like on Dust Bowl defense or a payload defense, that's when it's usually best to use this setup. And if you are not, like I'm playing on Nucleus obviously, it's best to kind of stay in confined areas. I do have a medic, so I am able to move around a little bit more than I probably should with the Brass Beast, but you want to stay in confined areas because your movement is so limited. One of the most important things for the Heavy is his movement and positioning. So this makes it so the Heavy is even more nerfed in that area. So the best to stay in like really small areas, like in a house on Dust Bowl, or like I am in this top right area on Nucleus, because if I do go around the map, I'm just so vulnerable from snipers, from spies, and even just from like scouts jumping around and trying to kill me, because it takes me so long to rev up, and it's so easy to shoot me when I'm like basically standing still. So those are just a few tips. If you really want to be consistently successful and I think have the most fun time with the Heavy, I would suggest going with basically just the basic Heavy setup, which is like the minigun, shotgun, and fists. Obviously the sandwich is a pretty good secondary weapon as well, but just using the regular minigun would probably be best. But if you just want to go around, kind of stick around in corners and almost camp different parts of the map, then you can use the Brass Beast. It's a lot of fun, and like I am in this video, I am still being successful with it. Eating the Buffalo Steak Sandwich I'm not going to do too often. Like I said, it's kind of a risky maneuver. The heavy is good enough at killing people at close range that it doesn't really need any melee help, even though it is pretty powerful itself. But I think I might eat it one more time here. And I don't even know what's really going on. Sometimes it's really hard to time it. Sometimes you just have to be lucky and hope that there's a random guy up top or something like that. And there's no really need for me to follow that scout too far away. If I don't feel comfortable with with chasing someone down to their spawn, there's no really reason for me to do it. There you go. I got the nice one-hit kill. Actually, oh, that was now I've got crits. I do have a pocket medic in this video, and it does help a lot. And like I said, it just makes me able to move a lot more. I'm able to go near their spawn without really having to worry about people spamming me out or something like that, because it's just a lot easier. So just like 5 seconds left in the map, 2 seconds left in the map, and so you're doing a lot of work here as a heavy. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video here, and thanks for watching, you guys.